Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Craig and Dave Unscripted and another monthly update on what's been going on and what we've been doing for you over the summer holidays. So I was just saying to Dave, saw a marketing email this morning and said this is the time of year where teachers end the summer holiday and look forward to the start of a new academic year with exhilaration and excitement. And I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. I used to get to this point of the summer holidays and have dread and fear that I had to do it all over again for another year. But joking aside, look, we know at the start of a new academic year, you hit the ground running, everything kicks off again. And this is the point where it's like, right, okay, what do I need? What have I got? And one of the busiest periods for us here at Craig and Dave is the summer holiday, because you're all enjoying a well-deserved summer break and schools are closed. It's the quietest part of the year for us. So subsequently, it's when we get the most done. So we generate a lot of new resources, and we always have this crunch period, don't we, Dave, in the summer, where we like to get stuff ready because we know you want it for the 1st of September. It's no good saying coming halfway through. We've got a little bit of that, but on the whole, we've got a lot of stuff ready to give you, and we've been working hard. So we're going to go through and let you know what's changed with Craig and Dave, what we've got ready for you for September, and what's coming over the next term. So we'll kick straight in. Good news. Smart Advice continues to receive accolades, and we have been shortlisted in the Teach Secondary Awards 2024. What category? We have to, every time we do these awards, we have to enter a specific category. What did we enter for this year, Dave?
Yeah, so we've been shortlisted as one of the top 6 assessment tools for secondary education, which is amazing. Results coming out in November, so fingers crossed for November that we might actually win the category. We did win the Teach Secondary Awards last year as well, actually. So could we win?
Was that for our YouTube video series?
Yeah. So could we win it twice in a row? Probably not, but you never know. You never know. It's good that Smart Advice is getting recognised, and this is the 3rd year in a row that Smart Advice has been shortlisted for an award. So that's good news.
Yeah. Talking of Smart Advice, here's a little gotcha we get at the start of term. A lot of you obviously, it's quite common. A lot of movement in schools. People move schools, change jobs, get promotions, just move out of an area, and we often find that in the quickness of leaving it into the summer, we forget, like, oh, hang on, I've got all this stuff from my other school, or I've joined a new school and I haven't got access to X, Y, and Z. So, Dave, what are we showing people here? What problem is this hoping to overcome? Because we know we get a lot of this at the start of every year.
Yeah, well, this is the time of year where teachers email us and they say, oh, I'm the new teacher of class X at school Y. Could you please give me access to the Smart Advice data for my classes, please? Yeah. And we have to say, well, no, not as easily as that, because that raises safeguarding and data protection issues, quite significant data protection issues, actually. We can't just give data out on somebody's word, Yeah. So unfortunately, there is a process to go through. Now, it's made significantly easier if you are in touch with your predecessor. So hopefully there would have been some kind of handover for these classes. Maybe that happened in the summer term. But if not, maybe the school still have contact details for your predecessor, because it's much easier for you to ask them for the class codes. They give you the class codes, you join the class, and then they approve you, and you can then kick them out of the class. That's the significantly easiest way of doing it. Don't need to
contact us at all then. So if there's the first thing, if you can get hold of, you have an email or contact for the outgoing teacher, contact them, because you can manage this all yourself, get yourself set up. What if they can't? They've moved on. They don't know where they've gone. No one's got the follow-on details, because this happens every year.
Yeah, it does happen. So we can resolve the situation. We just have to overcome the data protection issues. So what we will ask you to do in that situation is to just give us a signed piece of paper. Now, this could be a PDF, it can be a photograph, it can be anything, but a signed piece of paper from a senior leader in your school. So an assistant head teacher and above would be absolutely fine. Just to say that you are the class teacher taking on the class, and there's some useful information that we would need to know in order to be able to sort the data out behind the scenes. So your predecessor's name, if you know them, would be ideal. The email address that they use to register with SmartRevise would be ideal. Your name, your email address, and as I say, your senior leader's signature. What we can then do with the authorization from the senior leadership of your school, we can then give you access to the data and we'll help you to do that.
There you go. Marvelous. So it's a bit of a process, but we all teach GDPR, data protection, safeguarding, e-safety, and we are not immune to it here in Craig and Dave, but we take it responsibly. And I think you'd expect that we did as well. Right, while on the subject of SmartRevise, a biggie, Dave, a biggie. So if you came to our inaugural conference that we held towards the end of term 6, we gave a keynote speech where we discussed the future of SmartRevise and some of the major features that will be coming over the next 12 to 18 months. And the first feature we said that would be available was a big change called Flight Paths. And that came with a complete redesign of the student's main kind of dashboard or interface. Well, that is ready to go live the 30th of August. We've been busting it out. Our poor development team, I put them on the spot on the day, didn't I? And went, when will Flight Paths be live? Will it be ready for the 1st of September? And they're sat there with 200 teachers going, yes. Well, it will. It's going live on the 30th of August. So if you don't know about it or you haven't seen it, I think we can show them, give them a quick overview. This is the new student dashboard. So talk us through it, because it's quite different from the old circular approach which students used to see with the 3 revision buttons on it.
It is. So let me take a quick step backwards so people can appreciate where we've come from. So when you log into SmartRevise as a student, you get your dashboard where you can select your course. And having selected your course, you then used to get presented with your tasks at the top if you had any, followed by a wheel that gave you access then to quiz, terms and advanced modes. Well, we've replaced that now with a course homepage, and it's chock full of data and information. But the most notable thing is this flight path, as you've said, Craig, at the top here. So what we're trying to show is progress over time. We want students to know where they've come from, where they are today, and where they're heading towards. And we don't want them flying blind. We want them to know whether they are sort of on target to meet expectations. Those expectations can be set by the teacher, and we call this a target cone. So you'll notice a green area here. This is the target cone. And the bottom line on the green cone is the minimum expectation. This is the percentage progress in SmartRevise that a teacher will set for the class or indeed individual students on the amount of content they expect the students to have completed in SmartRevise by the end of the course. And so we might set that at 50% as a minimum expectation. And then we might have the ambition line, which is the top of the green cone, and that might be set to 80%. It's a bit unrealistic to expect students to complete and master every single question in SmartRevise. Some do, but very few. So the target cone may be between 50% to 80%, but you'll be able to customize that for your class and individual students, as I've said already.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, there's a lot more on that. And what I would recommend as well is if you're thinking, oh, that's interesting, I wish they'd gone in a bit more detail. We'll probably do some more videos on this, but you can still go to, I put myself on the spot there, our old conference homepage. You can download our keynote speech. While Dave is next talking, I'm going to dig it out and give you a link, but we gave an entire hour-long keynote speech, and you can look at this in more detail. We actually expanded on the flight path and talked to you about how it works, what it looks like. So I will dig that out. What we don't want to do now is spend an hour talking to you, because Dave and I are known for waffling on, and this is meant to be a quick newsletter. But yes,
while you're thinking that out though, Craig, I'll just tell people a little bit more about this then. So this particular chart on the course homepage really just shows you one of the data points, which is where you currently are. And ideally, you want to be in that green target cone. You could, of course, be below it. You could, of course, be above it. But you're trying to get students to aim to be in that target cone, so they can always see where they've come from and where they're headed to, whether they're on track to be entering the green target cone or staying within the green target cone. They can also expand that chart if they want to see particular data. So every time they use Smart Revise, it records what they did on that day. And so you can get a day-by-day analysis and progress as well. Teachers can see all of this data for their individual students and on one page the entire class if they want to. And some of the other things that we've done with this page, you'll notice that the tasks now says you have 2 tasks that need your attention, just so that it doesn't dominate the page if you've got hundreds of tasks. You can still access those by selecting all tasks. And then we've got some quick access to the most popular reports. So one of them being what we used to call the revision report is now called the summary report. And you'll notice that all the individual flight paths are on the summary report as well. There's a wealth of information in Smart Revise for students and teachers about progress. We've then brought awards to the fore. We're going to be doing a lot of work with achievements and class awards over the next 12, 18, 24 months. So you can expect good things in that area of the product. And you'll notice that the buttons that used to be on the wheel now say Start Quiz, Start Terms, Start Advanced, together with the last time that the student actually used that mode. So we hope you're going to find that really, really useful for increasing the motivation for students to use Smart Revise outside of the classroom. And our hint is that you try and use this as a do now starter activity at the beginning of every single lesson. Just get them engaged with quiz as much as you possibly can. And then for homework as well, so you can build up that huge bank of data over time.
Marvelous, and that gave me more than enough time to find what I was looking for. So I'm just going to share. This is over at craiganddave.org/conference/talks. So that's not a link you can easily navigate to from our site, because we've taken the links to our conference down until we do one next year. But you can still type in craiganddave.org/conference/talks. Actually, all the CPD sessions that were delivered during that conference day by all the various organisations that attended, they're all there, so you can download all their materials, including useful information for the major exam boards and what they're doing with on-screen assessment. So there's a wealth of free stuff you can get there. Our keynote speech is right at the top there. Future of Smart Revise, and so it's an hour-long talk, and not only we talk about flight paths in more details, but we also talk about some of the other features we're going to be working on next, because we've got a solid plan, and Dave hinted at some of it there. Right, let's move on though from one more. Sorry, I was going to say let's move on to Smart Revise. One final thing from Smart Revise. Blimey, Dave, you've been working on bulking out another course, haven't you? And I think this is also going to be ready for the 1st of September. This started off as a couple of tweaks, didn't it? And it's almost a complete rewrite. You've really gone to town on it, and it needed it, in fairness. So well done. Go on.
Yeah, absolutely. So a shout out here to Alice Pinches, okay, who's a teacher who contacted us last academic year and said, I love Smart Revise. I'm teaching Pearson Edexcel 1 CP2. The problem I'm finding is that it feels very similar to the OCR J277, and I would like the content to be even more closely aligned to the specification. And so originally I said to Alice, great, well, if I send you all the questions, can you have a look through them, tell us what you want us to do? We'll action those and get that ready for everybody else, because we always listen to feedback and we always act on the feedback. I was about to do that, and I cast my eye over a few questions just to kind of estimate how big that job was going to be for Alice to do. And it became apparent that actually I needed to probably do quite a bit of work on this. And I have literally either rewritten, reworded, or created every single question in the Pearson Edexcel 1 CP2 course. This is effectively a brand new course that is so tightly aligned to the Getting Started guide, the specification, and the other guidance that's coming out of Pearson that if you haven't been using Smart Revise for 1 CP2 because you were concerned about the alignment issues, now is the time to get on board, because this is probably the best course we now have in Smart Revise. But normally, when we make such big changes, we make them available for future cohorts. And so we would be looking at 2028 for that to become available. And I just decided we needed to make it available to everyone as soon as possible. So there are some implications. There will be some new content. So when you log into Smart Revise over the next few weeks, it will prompt you to say, hey, good news, there's some new content. Brilliant. Okay. But all the other changes that I've made will happen automatically. And that means that your current year 11s that are starting year 11 in September will also benefit from this brand new course without having to do anything. You don't have to do anything to action.
You don't have to buy anything if they're
already
on.
You don't have to buy anything that you haven't. Yeah, if you've already got the Edexcel 1 CP2 course, you're not buying anything extra here. You've already got it. Yeah. However, there is an implication to be aware of, and that is that one of the reports gives you the top 10 least well answered questions by the class. That data will not be accurate because I've changed the questions and I've changed the answers, okay? So that will give you a little bit of a false impression on the strengths and weaknesses of your class. Everything else will still be okay. Your class matrix reports, progress, and everything else, absolutely fine. It's just that one report.
And of course, that will reflect correctly over time as students then start using the new content. So it's just initially, it may be out of date.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Over time, that will correct itself. It's not an issue that will perpetuate forever. And also, if you're copying tasks, if you made tasks last year that you now want to copy for the new cohort, by the way, you can now do that. You can copy tasks across series. If you didn't know that, you can now. And it will mean that questions that get copied over may well be new versions. Well, they will be new versions of those questions. So you just need to kind of bear in mind that it's not exactly a like-for-like comparison if you're looking at the data between cohorts, because the questions will have changed for year 11. So there we go. That's really, really exciting. Taken me forever to do this.
But it's all good stuff for all good reasons. Right, talking about updates to courses, this is not in Smart Revise now, but we've been harking on for the last few of these videos about the work that I've been doing in the background. As you know, the YouTube series for AQA A level looks significantly old and out of date and unprofessional compared to all our newer content, and we decided AQA A level people deserve some love. So I have spent the last 6-7 months redoing all 185 of the YouTube videos. So that's spec point by spec point, the entire AS and A level AQA specification. Right, so some honesty straight out the bat first. All 185 videos will not be released on YouTube for the 1st of September. What we have got, and it's already available now, and I will share, get Dave to share something in a minute so you know how easy it is to find, all the PowerPoints that sit behind those videos, that make up those videos, are already live and available to you. So I'm just going to share. So here you go. Here's just a PowerPoint. I'm not going to go through it, but this is the sort of type and quality now. We've gone on widescreen. We've got professional recording equipment assets library. This is a video on object orientation. If you're aware of what the current videos look like on the YouTube channel, you'll know this is it's a lightning change and improvement. We've added key question slides at the end of videos, so you can got prompts for your student. It's got new styling, new artwork, and we've used new recording equipment as well, so the sound quality is infinitely better. The entire all 185 PowerPoints, which comes to over 6,000 slides. So you can literally, and it's you can teach, if you want to teach from the front of the class, not this approach that we particularly say is necessarily the most efficient, but if you want to teach from the front of the class, you can get every single PowerPoint as part of your existing subscription right now. So what would be the easiest way, Dave? If they're an existing member of our premium resource and they're like, blimey, that's the one thing I want to take away from this video. I want to go away and download those 185 PowerPoints, so I've got them ready for the start of September. What's the easiest way of them getting to those?
Yeah, the easiest way is to go to craiganddave.org and then select member login, enter your credentials, and having done that, in the search bar, search for resources, all you need to do is type the number 185. 185 or 185 PowerPoints or just PowerPoints, anything like that is going to get you to this particular product. And you'll notice that it's only available for Craig and Dave members to download. But if you have logged in, you will have a download button there, and you will get 6,000 slides of goodness.
Yes. Now, in terms of, so then, Craig, when are those videos going to be available? Because I can't just leave it there, can I? So, although with PowerPoint's available, the actual audio record, I've recorded over 110 now of them in audio, and that's now gone off to our editors, who are then splicing that all together, making it sound as good as possible. We currently have all the videos ready for SLR 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've still got a week to go. I imagine we might get up to 5 and 6. So there is going to be a lag. During the first week of September, I will start to put the videos up online. We're going to put them up a topic at a time. So we're going to start with the SLR 1, we call it, which is the first topic from the spec, which is programming, and we'll carry on from there. So we already have all the stuff on data structures, algorithms, and programming recorded. They are going to start to be released probably every week or every other week throughout the course of this year. So if you're an AS student, they'll all, if you're year 12 student, sorry, the entire course will be available by the end of this year. If you're year 13, it may not all fully be there. Trust me, we're getting them out as quick as we can. But as I said, the PowerPoints that sits behind them are there for you to use now. I can also see Dave has shared something else on the bottom of the screen that I'm going to put on. So what he's going to say is, as well as YouTube, we prefer you to use our student page. Yes, so although we host all our videos on YouTube, we also provide access to them from student.craiganddave.org. The reason we prefer you to link to this site as opposed to our YouTube channel is because this site provides static links. If we need to update a video on YouTube, it creates a new URL. There's nothing we can do about that. That's just the way YouTube works. That means any links that you have to videos from YouTube can become broken whenever we update them. If you use the static links from student.craiganddave.org, when we update videos, you're always linking to the latest version. I think that's probably what you wanted me to say about that, Dave.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm going to go quiet for a bit, because now we're going to move on from classroom resources and smart revise to one of our other major product offerings, which is Time to Code. Now, this is very much Dave's baby, and he's been talking about updates that have been going on in the background for the last few months, but I think you have some news. So first one, Dave, Time to Code on the GoCodeIt platform. Right, you've been promising this for a while, so what's the latest update?
The latest update is there's no new news. No, that's not fair. So yeah, so GoCodeIt is a platform being created by Peter Hudson, who is a practicing teacher of computer science. So he knows exactly what we need in terms of managing programming in the classroom. And I'm sure, like most of you, we were using coding rooms and then Replit in order to manage programming in the classroom. And of course, when those two companies pulled the plug, it left us high and dry. And we know that there are other offerings from people like Raspberry Pi Foundation, which look absolutely great, but they are not in a place to offer the classroom management tools yet. So Peter Hudson has stepped up and has created the GoCodeIt platform for teachers. This will be available for everybody to trial from the beginning of September. It's not quite there yet, but it will be sometime this week or next, certainly for September. And everybody will be able to use it. for free until Christmas. Work will continue developing the product through the autumn term, and then after Christmas there will be a sort of paid subscription for it, but it will be nothing like Replit prices or anything like that. Pete's very keen to make this affordable for schools, but of course there are hosting costs, and unless you are hosting a major product, you don't really appreciate all the costs involved for scalability and robustness. And so obviously a product, like SmartRevise actually costs quite a lot to maintain. It's not a question of just buying some web space and sticking it up there. And GoCodeIt will be exactly the same. It needs to be robust and reliable, scalable, and so all those things come at a cost. And so obviously it would be unfair for Pete to take on all that cost for the benefit of everybody else, and so it is going to be a paid for service, but my understanding is that it is going to be very affordable. So certainly something to have a look out for. Time to code will be in the GoCodeIt platform, so you'll be able to benefit from all the things that you know and love from Time to Code. All of our challenges and everything will be available through there, and you'll be able to manage your classes as they progress through the Time to Code content through the GoCodeIt platform. So that is really, really exciting.
I assume you probably already thought about this, but a point where the platform is available for use, I assume we'd probably like to get him on and do a little, maybe just a little demo of it, because I've not seen it myself. We could put that on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go on there today, it might not look exactly how it's going to look when it's officially launched. But yeah, we'll certainly do that. We'll do a demo of the GoCodeIt platform and have a chat to Pete. We haven't asked him about that yet, but I'm sure he'll be.
And it's worth saying, as we've said it before, if you watch our videos, we've said this loads over the last couple of years, there's no sort of paid agreement here. We're not sponsoring him. It's we promoted Replit and Codeit Rooms before because they were good platform. We promote good schools for teachers. We've never received any money from anyone we've had on to promote their particular products. If you're out there and you've got something you think is worthwhile or will be benefit for teachers, reach out to us. So again, we all know what happened with Codeit Rooms and Replit. Say rug was pulled from under us. What do we do? Here's a great solution. We think it's going to be a great one for you to use. Highly affordable data. That's why we're promoting it. Simple as that.
Yeah. And something else just to share, sort of Time to Code the future. So there's a couple of other things sort of in the pipeline. The first is a C# version of Time to Code is still in development. I know we said that we would hope to try and get that out for September, but Harry and Anna are helping us with the content for that. And, they need a little bit of a break being A-level students over the summer as well. So this is not casting shade on them at all. It just hasn't happened as quickly as we thought it might. To be honest, largely because I've been working on the Pearson 1 CP2 course for SmartRevise, which we thought was probably just more important for our GCSE students and teachers. So had to prioritize that. It's meant that the C# version of Time to Code has slipped. So I can't say when that's going to be available, but we're working on it. In other news, I had a really interesting conversation with Andy Colley, who's one of our well-trusted content creators for SmartRevise. He's using Time to Code with his cohort and evaluating it. And we had a conversation about the fact that the ramp up in level 1 is still too great. And although we don't want to sacrifice the functions first approach, because we really believe in teaching subprograms from the outset, we did nonetheless come to the conclusion that it would be better with more breakdown, more scaffolding. So for example, it would be good to have programs that just do everything inside the subprogram to start with, followed by programs that just take a parameter but do the outputs within the subprogram. And then finally, to have this idea of taking parameters, doing something, and then outputting or returning the values to then be output outside of the subprogram. And so that was one example of where we realized that the current ramp just needs more scaffolding, more deconstruction, and we can make the scheme even better. So I was really excited as a result of that conversation, and then immediately the dread of, oh no, this effectively means a rewrite of time to code, doesn't it? And I know Craig's going to kill me because it took me ages to do time to code initially.
Hang on, this is the first time hearing about this, isn't it? Have you released this to me on the video because you know I'm not going to be able to swear live on camera? I'll just wait till we finish recording. Right.
Anyway,
it does look. Joking aside, it does talk about one of the main principles we've had here at Craig and Dave. We don't just release your resources, dump them, and that's it. We keep saying we revisit them. You know, we take light of feedback. We don't just say that either. We listen to feedback. We look at the latest pedagogy. We look at stuff coming out of the exam boards and examiners reports, and we are constantly iterating and improving the stuff we do. It does mean sometimes stuff comes out slower, but we hope at any point in time you've got the best of what we have to offer you at that point, but probably not the end product. We're constantly evolving, as you are as teachers. It's a never-ending job, isn't it? Keeping on top of it.
It is. So I've got a real dilemma now, because I promised people time to code level 11, which was going to be all about SQL, and then eventually level 12, which I think was object-oriented programming, and so on and so on. I've also promised people a C# version. I've also promised people a further breakdown in smart revise for the OCR A level. Haven't forgotten you, by the way. Those of you that mentioned that at the conference, haven't forgotten. And now I've sort of promised Andy Colley that we'll do more of a breakdown in time to code as well. So I've got a lot of promises, just not a lot of time. So things will happen, but
do we get a summer holiday?
No. So as Craig says, we'll continue to iterate, but it's a lot to do, and we'll do what we can as soon as we can.
Well, we're almost at the end. This is actually longer than we like our newsletter updates to be, but it's just a reflection of the amount of stuff that we've been doing over the summer ready for you. But just a quick finishing note, just not to forget really about our lesson hacker series. So we have our other Dave, Dave Morgan, who produces a weekly video. I think there's over 30 now, I think. A weekly video every week, and these are really great. I mean, if you criticize our theory videos for doing dry and dull, we're like, hands up, we know they are. They're there to teach you the theory, get to the point, tell you what you need to know. These are meant for sparking classroom discussion. That Friday afternoon, just before lunch, or the lesson's finished a bit early and we want to have a chat about something. It's all in the sphere of computer science, ethics, legal, and every single one of these videos, once Dave delivers it to Dave, you then go through and put in the comment in the description section of the YouTube video a selection of questions for sparking class discussion. So I mean, there's anything you really want to say about that? But say these are updated weekly.
Yeah, no, I just go and explore it for yourself. If you haven't already, and you're a teacher of computer science, these are really worth having a look at. I realize that some schools do block YouTube, but most IT teams will unlock particular playlists or particular videos, so you should be able to coordinate that in schools so that students have access to it, or certainly as a member of staff you should be able to get access to it, and you can display it from the front of the class. But if you're looking for, as Craig said, that easy sort of cover work, you're not going to be in school tomorrow, or you're suddenly sick and you've got to set work and you're like, what can I do? Then if you have got YouTube enabled, then get the students to watch the 5-minute video. The fertile questions in the video description you can then use to just say to them, make a poster about it. I mean, okay, that posters are not the best learning experience. I'm not advocating this as a day-to-day teaching technique, but if you're in a bit of a pinch and you just need that instant cover work, then why not create an information leaflet, a poster, whatever, from the content of the video using the fertile questions in the video description. They're still excellent for teaching some of the ethical debates about computer science, so it's not completely wasted work.
And he's really interesting to listen to as well, unlike some of our theory videos. Right, enough dragging down my theory videos. Right, okay, well, we're done there. 35 minutes, a little bit longer than usual, but a lot to bring you up to speed on. Enjoy what is left of your summer holiday. Hopefully you are looking forward to the start of term again. We're here to carry on supporting you, as is our team as well. So don't forget, we are here. You can reach out to us. The best way is email. We do have a phone number on our website, but honestly, the best way is email. I know sometimes companies say, you're like, I just want to speak to a human. You can ring us, but we all monitor the shared inbox all day. That's the admin team and me and Dave. So admin@craiganddave.co.uk, and hopefully we can sort out any questions or queries you have. But best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Hope results day went well, and we'll see you as the next academic year unfolds. Bye-bye for now.